Hvaljen Isus I Marija.
Praise be Jesus and Mary.
Govori vam Fr.Mario.
This is Fr.Mario Knezović,
Franjevac.
a Franciscan priest, talking to you.
Svećenici,
brothers priests
braći vjernicima.
are talking to brothers faithful.
Dragi poštovani
Dear,
u Kristu.
respected in Christ.
Dok vam se čini
While it
kako
seems to
ste
you that you
zaboravljeni
have been forgotten
i
and
ostavljeni
abandoned
od
by your
svojih pastira,
pastors, by your
ovi
shepherds,
video uradci
these
kažu
videos
suprotno.
and all talks say the
Svećenici su
opposite.
uz
Priests
vas
are with
i
you,
dijele s vama
and they share with
vaše
you
duhovne
your
borbe
spiritual
i
battles
životne,
and your
moralne dvojbe.
life and moral doubts
Možda
that
će
you might be
biti
having.
opet onih koji
Maybe
će,
there will be those again who,
koristeći
using
za
the
to
privileged
privilegirane
media,
medije, kazati
will be
zašto se
saying that
javljamo
why
i
we are
dižemo
answering,
glas.
why we are raising our voices.
No, takvima
Yet
odgovor može
the
biti
answer to
samo
such
ono
people
što
can only
piše
be what was
Sveti
written
Pavao
by
u
St. Paul in his
poslanici
letter to
Timoteju,
Timothy.
propovijedaj
Preach the
riječ,
word,
upora
be
budi,
persistent,
bilo
be
to
it convenient
zgodno ili
or
nezgodno.
inconvenient.
Govorimo jer,
We
kaže
decided to
Isus,
speak because, as
ako
Jesus
vi
said, if these are
ušutite,
silent,
kamenje će
the stones
vikati.
will cry out.
Govorimo upravo zato
We
što
speak
se od nas
precisely because we
očekuje
are
da
expected
zašutimo
to be
kad su u
silent
pitanju savjest,
when it comes to
moralni
conscious,
nauk,
when it comes to moral
ljudska
teaching,
prava i
human
sloboda.
rights, or freedom.
U eri medijske
In this
manipulacije
era
teško
of
se
media
izboriti
manipulation,
za
it is
prostor
very difficult to
u
fight
kojem
for a
bi se
space
čulo
in
drugo
which
ili
different
drugačije mišljenje.
opinions or a different
Vremena
kind of
za
ideology would be heard.
argumentaciju kao
There
da
seems to be
nema.
no time for argumentation,
vremena za
and there is
manipulaciju
plenty of
je
time
napretek.
yet for manipulation.
Drugačije promišljati
Those who think
postalo je
differently,
preopasno.
they have become too dangerous.
Zato se zapitati
Therefore, we
u
ask
što su se
ourselves,
mediji
we should ask
pretvorili
ourselves,
i
what have the
kome
media
zapravo
turned into?
služe.
Whom do they serve to?
S kršćanske
When it comes to
pozicije
Christian
valja
point of view, it
naglasiti
should be
kako su
emphasized that
mediji
media
divni
are
Božji
a wonderful
darovi.
gift of
To je
God.
citat
This is
koji je
quotation that
uzet od
Holy
pape
Father
Pija
Pius XII,
a to je izgovorio još davne
when he said this long ago in
1957.
1957.
No, unatoč tom daru,
Yet, despite this
postoje
gift,
brojne zloporabe.
there are numerous abuses.
Iz medijske abecede
When it comes to
trebalo bi
media
ponovno
alphabet,
kazati.
we should say the following.
Osnovna
The
uloga
basic
zdravih
role
medija
of healthy
treba biti
media should be
istina,
truth,
informacija,
information,
objektivnost.
objectivity.
Međutim, i
However,
površnome promatraču
even
je
to the
jasno
superficial
kako su
observer,
se
it is
mnogi
obvious and
mediji
clear that many
pretvorili
media
u laž,
have turned into lies,
manipulaciju i
manipulation, and
subjektivnost.
subjectivity.
Mediji koji
Media that are
fakultativno
optionally
zovu
called mainstream media
postali
have
su
become a bulletin
oglasni
board
panoi
for
krupnoga
big
kapitala
capital
i u službi
on
vlasti.
they are in the service of
U
government
vremenu COVID
or those who
krize
are ruling.
došlo je
At
do
the time of
cenzure
COVID crisis,
neslućenih
there was
razmjera.
censorship of
Neki skriveni
unprecedented proportions.
svjetski
Some hidden
policajac
world policeman
postaje
becomes
mjerodavan što je
authoritative
istina,
and he decides
što
what
laž.
is true and what is a
Ako
lie.
tomu nije tako,
If this is not the
zašto
case,
se brišu
why are the
sadržaji
contents
u kojima
in
se
which, contrary to the
suprotno
views of the
stavova
authorities,
vlastodržaca
the vaccine is
govori o
discussed?
cjepivu?
Why these contents
Ako
are
se
deleted?
oslanjamo na
If we
objektivno
rely
i
on
istinito
objective and
informiranje,
truthful information,
zašto mediji
why do the
dobivaju
media
izdašne
receive generous
donacije
donations if
ukoliko
they report
izvještavaju
and
i
write what the
pišu
headquarters of
ono
individual
što
countries
stožeri
want?
pojedinih država žele? Pouzdano znam
For sure, I know
da se
that
određenim
certain media
medijima
in our
na našim
area,
prostorima prijetilo
they have been
kako će
threatened
izgubiti
that they would
koncesiju,
lose their
pravo
concession, the
emitiranja
right to broadcast,
ukoliko budu
if they
o
decide to
temi
talk
covida
about
i
COVID
cijepljenja
and vaccinations
govorili
differently
drugačije
from what
od
the
onoga
government
što
headquarters
vladin stožer
says.
izriče. Papinski dokument
Papal
etika
document,
na
Ethics on the
internetu,
Internet,
još davno
long ago
pominje
has been
na
warning us
nedopustivu
about the
situaciju
unacceptable
u kojoj
situation
postoje
in which
informacije
there
za
is
bogate
information for the
i
rich and the
informacije
information
za
for the
siromašne.
poor.
To se zove
This is something
službeno
called
digitalni
digital
jaz,
division,
digital divide.
digital
Spravo su
divide.
ljudi
People
zbunjeni.
are rightly confused.
Objektivno i
Objective
istinito
and
informiranje
truthful
ustupilo
information
je
has
mjesto
given way to
dezinformaciji,
misinformation,
manipulaciji
manipulation,
i
and
sijanju
sowing
straha.
fear.
Možemo li
Can we
zamisliti
imagine
što bi se
what would have
dogodilo da su
happened if the
mediji
media
tijekom
had
Domovinskog
sown
rata
fear during the
sijali
homeland
strah
war here,
i izvještavali
and
na
if they have
počecima
reported
informativnih
only
emisija
about the number
samo
of the
o
dead,
broju poginulih,
wounded, expelled,
ranjenih,
shelled,
protjeranih,
bombarded,
granatiranih i tako redom.
and so on.
Ne.
And if they did that at the
U tom
beginning of
vremenu
every news
to
program,
mediji nisu činili,
no.
jer su
At that time,
znali
the media did
da je
not know
sijanje
did not
straha
do this because they
put
knew that sowing
u
fear
poraz
was a path to
i ulaz
defeat,
u
and it was an
kolektivnu
entrance
depresiju.
into collective depression.
A što imamo danas?
What do we have today?
Sve vijesti počinju
All the
s
news starts with the
brojkama
numbers of
oboljelih,
the sick, the numbers of
umrlih,
the dead, the numbers of those who have been
hospitaliziranih
hospitalized,
i tako
and
dalje.
so on.
Samo na tom
Only on
primjeru
this
možemo
example we can
iščitati
read
što je
what the
plan.
plan is.
Plan
The
je
plan is
posijati
to sow panic
paniku
and to
i
sow
strah.
fear.
Nakon toga
After that,
lako je vladati.
it is easy to rule.
Postavljam upit.
Here, I'm
Ako
raising
su
a
mediji
question.
koji pronose
If the media
glasove
that spread the
vladinih
votes of the
stožera
government headquarters
izdašno
are
financijski
generously
zbog toga
rewarded for this,
nagrađivani,
why is it not
zašto u
at the
vrhu
top
tih
of this
informacija
information
i
of
vijesti ne
news,
stoji,
which by
što
law
po
must
zakonu
be
mora
that
stajati,
it is a sponsored
to
program, that this is a
sponzorirani
sort of
program,
marketing?
Ti programi
These
su nam
programs
najprije
first,
govorili
they
kako
told
se
us
ne može
that the confidential vaccine
povjerljivo
cannot be
cjepivo
made
načiniti u kraćem
in a
razdoblju
short
5 do
period of
12
5 or
godina.
even 12 years, that the
Potom se ono
vaccine that would be
pojavilo
efficient.
gotovo
Then
preko noći.
the vaccine appeared
Ti mediji
overnight.
su nam i prije
These
početka
media, even before the
cijepljenja
start of
preko
vaccination
vladara
through the
govorili
rulers,
kako ćemo
told
primati
us that
5,
we would
6,
receive 5,
7
6,
ili više
7
doza.
or even more doses
Kako
or
su znali
boosters.
da
How did they
2 doze
know
neće
that
biti
2 doses
učinkovite?
would not be efficient?
Ovakvih
We
proturječija
can
možemo
enumerate such
nabrajati
contradictions
do
to the point of
besvijesti.
unconsciousness.
Dragi vjernici,
Dear faithful,
dragi
dear
svećenici,
priests,
dragi prijatelji,
dear friends,
zakonik
the
kanonskoga
code
prava
of canon law
katoličke
of the
crkve
Catholic Church
je
is
jasan
very
kao u
clear.
svome
Yet
kanonu
in a canon 747,
kaže
it says
kako
that the
crkva
Church
ima
has a
dužnost i
duty,
prirođeno
it has an
pravo,
innate right,
neovisno o bilo
independent
kojoj
of
ljudskoj
any
vlasti,
human authority,
propovijedati
to
evanđelje
preach the
svim
gospel to
narodima.
all the nations.
No, budimo iskreni,
However, let's
taj
be honest
proces
about the
i zadaća
process
se koči.
and the task that is
Stječe se
really
dojam
being
kako
culted
se
here.
biskupi,
One gets the
svećenici,
impression that bishops,
vjernici
priests, and
koji
faithful
brane
who defend the
slobodu
freedom of
savjesti,
conscience,
Božji
the voice of
glas
God in
nama,
us, and
te
those who
zastupaju
advocate the
slobodu
freedom to
izbora,
choose vaccines,
cjepiva,
they are
abortiraju
literally
iz javnoga
aborted from the
prostora.
public space.
Neistomišljenike se
Dissenters are
etiketira
labeled as
kako su
weirdos who
čudaci
don't think
koji ne misle na
of
druge.
others, who don't care for
Čuju
others.
se glasovi poput
Voices
onog
like the one addressed to the
upućenoga
prophet
proroku
Amos,
Amosu,
to whom the
kojem vladar
ruler of
Jeroboam
Jeroboam,
preko svoga
through his messenger
poslanika
Amaziah,
Amasije govori
speaks
da
to stop
prestane
prophesying
prorokovati
and to leave
i da
his
ide iz
land
njegove
because
zemlje,
he
jer ga,
feeds him.
zamislite, on
Imagine
hrani.
that.
Zapravo, poručio
Actually,
je
he told him
ako baš
if
želi
he
govoriti
really wanted to
istinu,
tell the truth,
govori je,
he should
ali
say the
negdje
truth,
drugdje.
but say it somewhere else.
Zapitati se,
Let us ask ourselves,
je li
is this the
uzrok
cause of
nekih
some
šutnji
silence,
i to da
and
netko
that
crkvu
someone is
financijski
blackmailing the
ucjenjuje,
church financially,
poput
or
ocjene
in some
o
other
trudu
way,
vladara
like
Jeroboama?
blackmail about the bread of the ruler of
Dotle
Jeroboam?
smo došli
Well,
u
that's how
našim
far we have
uzmicanjima.
come in our retreats.
Zato više nema
That is why there
prostora
are
za
no
uzmah.
more
Istina i
fighting
savjest
back.
su
The
jedini
truth and
izbor
conscience are the
i
only
izbor
choice and the
naših
source of
odluka.
our decision.
Ne bojte
Do
se.
not be afraid.
Uz vas smo mi,
We,
braćo
brothers
svećenici,
priests,
molitvi,
are with you in
podršci,
prayer, support,
promišljanjima,
contemplation,
dijelimo vaše
reflections.
muke i
We
patnje.
share your sufferings.
Vaše pravo
We
na
will
slobodan
defend your
izbor
right to free
i slobodu
choice and to
savjesti
freedom of
ćemo
consciousness.
braniti. Tako nam
May
Bog
God help
pomogao.
us in that.
Ovo je poruka
This is
u
a
ime
message
brojnih
on behalf of
svećenika
many
koji
priests
nisu u
who
ovom
are not
videu,
in this
a
video,
velika su nam podrška.
and they are a
Hvala
great
im.
support to them, to
Neka nas
us.
sve,
We thank them.
dragi Bog,
May we all
ohrabri
be
i
encouraged and
blagoslovi.
blessed by dear God.
Mir vam i
Peace
dobro.
and good, pax and bonum to all of you.